the president like misunderstand something, like the committee, what the committee had done, and probably there will be words like mistook some actions, or some kind of action.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
let's look at this. So if we look at the
Mhm.
entire text, it says in censuring the academic
Mhm.
committee for apparently being blank in appointing a chancellor, right? Now, if we break the entire text, as I mentioned earlier also, that when it comes to your text completion questions, it is good if you can break and understand because the text is long, it's lengthy. So where are we breaking? Let's break it here. Yeah.
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah. So this is the first part. Now, if we just go through the first part, will we be able to predict the answer in the first blank?
That's very good. The being the content. Maybe
I don't think so. We would not be able to, predict the answer in the first blank. I mean, predict the first blank if we just read the first portion. We ideally have to go through the second portion as well. So if you look at the second portion, it says the university president mistook blank for procrastination. Okay. The committee had been guilty of nothing more than a scrupulous vetting of all candidates. So, what is the idea that you're getting from the second part, Murad?
yeah, there's something that's happened, um, and university president misunderstand this happening as a procrastination. Yes.
Okay. No, what is the idea? I mean, uh, what do you understand by procrastination? It basically means deliberate delay, right? You're deliberately delaying something, yeah? Procrastination.
Mhm.
The university
Yes.
president mistook blank for procrastination. So, this is the part that it's talking about. The committee had been guilty of nothing more than a scrupulous vetting of all candidates. This is important. So, what do you understand by this scrupulous vetting of all candidates?
Like wedding candidates with extensive like details, being attentive to all details.
Mm-hmm. See, scrupulous vetting of all candidates basically means that, very critical analysis or
Examination.
examination. Yes. Very critical analysis or examination or scrutiny of each candidate so that nothing goes wrong. Right? Am I clear? So this whole act, this whole act of the committee of carrying out critical analysis or examination of each and every candidate so that nothing goes wrong, maybe took a lot of time, was something which was time consuming. Yeah, this whole act
Okay.
makes. Got it. So the university president mistook, this act or this whole idea or this whole act of critical analysis or examination of the candidates for procrastination. So the university president probably thought that, the committee was trying to deliberately delay the things. But it was not that. The committee was actually, carrying out some sort of critical analysis or, scrutiny of the candidates in order to avoid any wrongdoing. Make sense now? Yeah. So
Yes. It does.
the predicted word in the blank, this would be with reference to this scrupulous vetting of all candidates because this is my lead phrase.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So act, this act of critical analysis. Okay, we get this. What about the first blank? In censuring. What do you mean by censuring? Censor,
Mm.
censure.
Just being biased.
Is it being biased? Censuring. Censor. What do you understand by censor?
When there is a censure, is like you are kinda kinda examining some persons, and you are saying what you're saying in a way that threaten
No.
her.
Censor
Yeah,
means you are disapproving.
disapproval,
Yes, disapproval of certain
disapproving.
parts. Censure also means the same thing. You're disapproving or dismissing. Censoring some parts of the movie. So censoring some some objectionable parts of the movie, which means you're disapproving of. You're extremely disapproving of, you're extremely dismissing of that. So it says in censuring the academic committee for apparently being blank in appointing a chancellor. So being what? I mean, the predicted word over here has to be something that is related to this whole thing. Scrupulous vetting of all candidates, right? So
Mm-hmm.
what was the committee being, in appointing the chancellor? Overcritical, maybe? Overcritical?
Maybe.
Is the
How about the
committee
word apparently?
or very slow to act, right? Very slow to act because they were kind of doing a lot of critical analysis, a lot of critical scrutiny and
Bilateral.
examination of the candidates.
Okay.
Make sense, Murad?
Mm-hmm. We are when we say slow, like
Yeah,
yes,
slow. Slow, why? Because they were doing a lot of critical analysis and examination of all the candidates, right? So that, there's nothing wrong. And the president mistook this whole act of analysis as procrastination or deliberately delaying. Make sense now? Yeah?
yes,
Yeah. So what should be the word? I mean, what should be the answer for the first blank? Dilatory. Because
yeah.
dilatory means slow to act. And what is the word for the second one? What should be the answer for the second one that is basically, referring to critical analysis or examination of candidates?
If it says there is ongoing examination and it's in detail, they can be like misconfused and there is a kind of difficulty for the committee to select the candidates.
To a delay,
Hereby,
right? Yeah, slow acting. You're acting slowly again.
yes, and I would say I would select
Deliberation.
Deli-
Deliberation.
Bias vacillation.
Deliberation means, acting slowly or doing a very careful and thorough um, thing so that, this entire thing becomes very slow. So if you look at the idea says that the academic committee um, had the responsibility of appointing a chancellor. In
Mhm.
doing so, the committee was critically analyzing or examining all the candidates, so much so that the entire process was getting delayed. Make sense? So the
Yes.
committee was actually acting very slow, very carefully, very thoughtfully, very planned way, very slow, right? So the word for the first blank is dilatory, slow to act. And for the second one, again, mistook this whole thing of careful and thoughtful analysis to be procrastination. So deliberation.
Mhm.
Deliberation means, careful and thoughtful way of doing something. Make sense now, Murad?
Yeah.
Yeah. You said, why not vacillation? What is the meaning of the word vacillation?
Um, kind of having trouble to select
Yes.
uh two option, one of the two or three
So
options.
this is a trap. Was the committee finding it difficult to select? No, the committee was not finding it difficult to choose or select. The committee was overtly critical in analyzing and examining the candidate so that nothing goes wrong. So that was when, it was getting delayed and the whole process was becoming very slow. It's not that they were finding it difficult to choose from the options. Got it? Vacillation is a trap. Make sense? Raj?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, got it. Got it, sir. Yes.
Okay. That's great then. So again, this was a typical text completion question in your GRE, wherein we basically worked on the second blank first and then the first one, right? And when we are predicting the word in the blank, we are basically predicting the word with reference to the lead phrase or word. See, scrupulous vetting of all candidates gives away the predicted word for the blanks, right? Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. So you have to be very careful when you are choosing the lead words or the lead phrases and predicting the word with reference to that.